Well, it's a global issue, so the government should try and find out and emulate other countries that have been affected and how to solve their problem, so we can solve our own here, because we cannot just close our hands and see things going wrong. So they should do something about it. In fact, about closure of schools, all those things, is better, but they should do more than that. The workers should stay at home very well, because you cannot expect children to stay at home and the parents are going to work. So when they come back home, what they meet? Their children. So they should take adequate measures to make sure these things are not spreading too much. Because it's a deadly disease, and as you can see from other places, it's not good enough.
Okay. Do you know, sir, there are still people that don't believe that this disease is real or is not in Nigeria? What do you have to say?
Well, individual differences. You understand? Some people don't believe that there is death until it comes to the person who is closer to them. So, I believe there is coronavirus anywhere, but I've not seen anybody that is affected. I don't want to see anybody.
If these parents should stay at home, the workers should stay at home,
yes,
how can they feed?
It is the responsibility of the government. If we have a good government, by the time you are hungry, you phone your government people that you are hungry, they send you food. Then that's all right. Then why are we here? We are taxpayers. When you are hungry or you lack anything, you just phone government, they come to your aid. Like other countries ahead, they are doing it. So we cannot be an exception. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So we should be up and doing, not just sit down here and begin to. People are cutting away our billions of naira to other countries, and we are suffering here. We are suffering. Nigerians are suffering.
I heard the institutions have been closed down. Is it true?
Yes, it has actually been shut down. First, it was the ASU strike for 2 weeks warning, and every other student went home. And from there, when we're coming back to resume, the corona issue has come up, and we have been told to stay back for about a month.
How do you feel about that?
I really don't know. The idea is actually a laudable one, but reason being that our parents are still going to work. So shutting down schools to limit the spread of corona is actually a laudable one, but the truth is parents too should also shut down for jobs, because students who are at home currently because of the virus, their parents are going to work, and a parent that goes to work will contact it and still bring it back to the child who is at home. So I think if they are shutting down schools, they should also try as much as possible to work out modalities to shut down places of work.
Your point is shutting down just the school would not prevent the spread of coronavirus.
It won't at all.
So they should also shut down the work places. If they shut down the workplaces, what do you think? What measure is placed to provide food and basic necessities?
Okay, if we are looking at that, I believe that whatever is happening now is a worldwide issue, not even only a national issue. It's actually affecting all developed nations of the world, and they have actually found a way around, and the way around it is online deliveries and all that. So I think if we can adapt the measure of online, because currently it's not like we're shutting down the entire economy, but those people who can work from home can actually work from home and make it easier, better, instead of everyone coming around. Great.
I want to ask if the government should make a policy that everyone should be locked, as in everyone should stay indoor, no movement. Do you think the people who obey this law, Nigerian, do you think they'll obey it?
That I can't really guarantee for sure, because we know how Nigerians can be. But I believe that if the law enforcement agencies take it serious the way it's ought to, I believe we can work around it. But I'm not saying that they should shut down movement totally, because the truth is that even if you decide for the time being to stock your house, whatever you stock your house will definitely get finished, and it's the truth. So, but those things that we can do online, let's try as much as possible. So for those places where, for example, like food delivery, you can be at home and there can be a particular person assigned. When you order from your house, they come and deliver it. So we are not talking about shutting down everything, but those things that we can do from home, let's try as much as possible. Because it's once we are gathered too much in one place and one person has it, it means automatically if there are 50 persons, those 50 persons are already at the verge of having the coronavirus. So
the question is, what do you think the government should do to prevent the spread of this coronavirus?
For me, I think the government, though they've already started it by asking some workers to stay at home for 2 weeks, but I think it should be everybody. not just only those workers. And the school children, they are already at home. In fact, the whole states, they should stay at home for 2 weeks. If it's 2 weeks they are giving, or if it's, even if it means extending it to 1 month, I think it's okay.
Okay.
And to curtail the spreads of the coronavirus.
If these people are at home, meaning they are not going to work, how do you think, what provision can they make for these people to survive? Because how would they be getting money?
If they are at home, they should not deny them of their salaries. That is for those that are working. Even those that are doing their own private business that they use to earn a living, they should sensitize them, as in telling them to use the face masks, and if they like, the hand gloves, and always maintain that habit of washing and sanitizing their hands regularly.
Okay, you think that will help? Okay, to the viewers watching, what advice can you give to the people personally? How can they prevent the spread of this? You know, it's not just the government.
And you as an individual now watching, to prevent the spread of this coronavirus, cleanliness, they said, is next to godliness. So you have to maintain that habit of washing your hands regularly. Whenever you go out, come in, keep on washing your hands. Before you eat anything, put it into your mouth, wash your hands, and also make use of the sanitizers to clean your hands. Then don't be in a crowded place. There should be distancing, social distancing. Maybe when you are talking with someone, don't just be close to the person. You can give the person 3 minutes distance. Then also make use of the face mask for those that want.
Thank you very much.
You see, prevention is better than cure, and it is better to practice preventive medicine than curative medicine. In this regard, I think the government have started already, and what I think they should do is to close down institutions, ensure that marketplaces are reduced, and then empower the medical centers with the weapons, and then go into fumigation. Because if these measures are not done very urgently, I'm afraid that the situation will grow bad. We can still prevent it now that it has not gone that very bad.
Okay, the preventive measure you said, close down institution, market places, maybe work places. When these things are closed down, what do you think should be done? How can these people get food to eat? How can they sustain? What can they do?
There should be an economic government intervention, like supply of food. The government should empower its agencies to ensure that foods are supplied to homes or some centers that will be fumigated, and then hospitals or health centers should as well be empowered with enough facilities, so that health workers and doctors and nurses will not fall into victim because of they are very much exposed to health hazards. So these are some of the measures I think. First, they should close down these institutions, and then churches should not be operating, but they could operate on the platform of satellites where people watch at home through televisions and laptops and all. And then we should also ensure that food supply is made. There should be a quick economic intervention that will enhance the supply of food at different centers. This is one of the ways by which it can be controlled.
Thank you, sir. Recently, we saw on the internet and the news is spreading that most institutions and maybe churches, they disobey the law, something like that. Now, what do you think? What action should the government take?
Yeah, the law enforcement agents should come out in mass number to ensure that these policies are implemented and enforced, so that people should stay indoors. And then there should be enough sensitization in all the media that people should adhere to these instructions of the government as a matter of urgency. That is one of the ways by which people, in Africa, especially now in Nigeria, people don't always. So there should be some kind of placards everywhere. There should be some sensitization. There could be some demonstrations by law enforcement agents through any media, the information centers, should ensure that they do their job. In this, I think, we'll be able to put it under control.
Okay. Having this medium, what advice would you give to the people viewing you?
Yeah, I think everyone out there should please take this as an unforeseen occurrence. You see, unforeseen occurrence befalls everyone. They should ensure that every of these instruction is taken to the letter and comply appropriately. This is my humble submission.
There are a lot of things government will have to take in place. For instance, I may start with first providing everything for the public to have. For instance, now government is able to provide sanitizer, provide education, educate to the market women. First, like now we just finished our campaign now. We went to the market women to educate them on what to do. They should not be scared of this coronavirus. When we went to the market now, they were just saying, these people they're just scared of the virus. They were like saying the virus kills and this one. But if the government can provide all these easy enablement that they can get, like for instance now, corona sanitizer is how I say, it's easy. It's not easy to get right now. For instance, sanitizer is not easy to get because going to the market now, these women cannot afford all these things. That's what government to do. Go to the market, tell these people, teach them things, tell them what to do. Tell them that okay, you need to wash your hand regularly. You need to you sanitize your hand. You need to what? Be careful. Cover your wear hand glove.
There are two signs and symptoms of coronavirus. We have the mild and the severe stage. The mild is just your normal coughing, your normal cold and your normal fever. While the severe stage is when you start to vomit, you start to have diarrhea. Now when you're in your mid stage of coronavirus, you can actually take care of it even without going to contact with the doctor. Now if you experience things like coughing, you can start taking hot water or hot tea to kill the cough at your lungs at a very early stage. Now this is the main essence of this campaign, a virus-free city. Now we all know this virus have affected everywhere in the world, including Nigeria.
Okay, for me, I think it should be appropriate for the government to provide sanitizers or equipment in those areas that are highly populated, like our markets and motor parks, to try to see how they can avert the situation, because the virus is really ravaging and it's a cause for action. It's really a cause for action. So I think they should place those equipment in offices, markets, places, or anywhere there are gathering, motor parks and the rest. They should make sure those equipment are there and sanitizers should be placed in those designated areas.
Market should be closed down, businesses should be closed down. What do you think?
No, it's not really the best way, because every day we eat to survive or to sustain ourselves. So if we are saying that, that's to say the government will providing food for the citizens, of which I know even if they are to do that, it will only be for those in the urban. It can't get to the suburbs. So it's not really an ideal solution. So to me, I think, like what I said, they should put those equipment to dictate those ones that are already affected in the market, and our health personnel that are specialized in the sanitary aspect should really, this is the time for them to really showcase what they have been called upon.
Okay, this thing is spreading due to transportation and the rest thing, people coming from other cities, from one city to another, from one country to another. What do you have to say about this? What preventive measure?
Okay, as for that, it's not only for us to shut our international airlines, it's also for us to tighten our borders, because our borders are very porous. So within the customs and the custom officials, they should also deploy in medical personnel that will be taking care of those borders to make sure at least if one is being found, it should be quarantined immediately within the border there without even taking him to the city. That's what I think.
Hello, welcome back to the show. I hope you had a nice time. Don't forget to follow us on our social media page, subscribe on our YouTube channel. See you next time.